interrupt our regular programming
with an unexpected attack.
Private military operation known as
Organisation militaire privée connue sous le nom de PAX.
PAX Armata.
Armata
Launched a full-scale attack.
NATO Secretary General Hawthorne
Assassinated
was
today.
inside NATO's headquarters.
PAX operative behind the Brussels.
Issued warnings to all NATO
Source close to him was quoted saying,
A direct attack on NATO.
Mobilisiert weitere
Mobilizing further operations
Nations are leaving NATO to join a new coalition with
stabilize world security.
PAX Armata.
are claiming responsibility
hostile
for
forces invaded
The British overseas
territory of
tracking
Gibraltar.
the threat from PAX.
So, another Battlefield 6 teaser just dropped. Didn't expect that. We do now know that there will be two factions present in Battlefield 6, seemingly from the teaser. NATO, fairly self-explanatory, and PAX Armata, a private military corporation. Now, in the teaser, just revealed on Battlefield social channels, we get a look at the conflict that Battlefield 6 is going to depict, which seems to have been set off by PAX Armata launching a full-scale attack on a NATO airbase in Georgia. The teaser also states that the NATO Secretary General was assassinated in Brussels. France ends up leaving NATO to form a new alliance, which destabilizes world security. And then the teaser ends with a focus on the territory of Gibraltar, which is being invaded by enemy forces, presumably PAX forces. That's a lot of information to get in 40 seconds, so let's try and sort a few things out here. First of all, the Gibraltar link. You might remember back in late 2024, EA decided to drop a massive interview with IGN on the future of the franchise with Vince Zampella, revealing a modern setting and the concept art for the game. Now, it was theorized at the time by multiple sources that the concept art was depicting somewhere in Europe, and lots of people thought it was Gibraltar. And it turns out they were probably right. It seems like this is going to be a big focus in Battlefield 6. The existence of NATO in Battlefield 6 appears to be under threat. There's a direct mention of France leaving the alliance in the teaser, and on the screen under the main headline you get a little bit of subscript. It says CIA retrieves information on PAX and the coalition in Cairo, Egypt. So Cairo, another location that we'll see in the game. And then the second part, revelation of PAX cells on US soil. So from the garbled audio in the teaser, it sounds like France is leaving NATO and joining PAX Armata, which, if you take some real-life details and throw them into the mix, that's a nuclear-armed state essentially switching sides. And just spotted, actually, by my good mate Torbis, a later shot in the teaser shows the text, Ukraine withdrew, and then it cuts off. And perhaps in this world that Battlefield 6 has created, Ukraine previously joined NATO and has now withdrawn as well. Interesting stuff. The single-player portion of Battlefield 6 will undoubtedly focus a lot on these locations, and it could well be that what we're seeing in this teaser is more about the single player. But, and I stress this next part is all speculation on my part, if you remember back to Battlefield 2042 and the cinematic trailer that the Battlefield team posted for the character called Irish, well, that game didn't have a single player, and the trailer was setting up a narrative and lore for the multiplayer element of the game. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the team give that another go this time around with Battlefield 6. It didn't amount to anything for Battlefield 2042 because the game wasn't that great, and all of the narrative elements like lore blog posts, additional trailers and podcasts, all of that got canned post-launch because development focus shifted onto making the game actually fun to play. So I really hope this time around the team does get another chance to build up narrative and build up a bit of lore around Battlefield 6. I'd definitely be open to that. And then just going back to the teaser that we got yesterday, the one that was set in New York, with the US being the strongest member of the NATO alliance and being heavily mentioned in the teaser, I've got little doubt now that we'll see some maps set on American soil in this Battlefield game. Again, single-player elements will surely tie into all of this, but the artwork that you see here, 4 different soldiers all standing, looking over the East River, jets, helicopters, warships, the lot. All of this is pointing to American maps in Battlefield 6. So that's your teaser dump for today. Don't forget to drop a like for the almighty algorithm and subscribe to the channel for all your coverage of Battlefield 6 right here. I'll catch you tomorrow for the reveal trailer.